Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Masyudha Fernanda. My student number is 2113042029. I am from English Department 2021. In this video, I will make a summary about someone's speech that will be a substitute for tasks in intermediate listening class. So the first speech is speech from Shakira. So the summary of the speech is most of people know Shakira is only artist or entertainer, but actually she has a great purpose of life for education. In Colombia, inequality become very familiar at a very young age. People there don't have equal access of opportunities that makes the generation after generation life trapped in the same vicious cycle by prejudice and inaction. Poverty, intolerance in the world of plenty. The most of the issues that children faced is Colombia had in common denominator the lack of access and equality of education. She believed that education was a great equalizer. She decided to study reason why children were walking in street or why children were being recruited by the violent organization like the paramilitary or the guerrillas, why were so many children suffering from chronic malnutrition and ready for this issue and face her country and her common denominator, the lack of access of quality. Education was answers way to giving all these kids best fighting chance to improving their circumstance in life, because education is a great equalizer. When we start building the school in Colombia, which shown the most remote areas where there was literally nothing, no infrastructure, no paved roads, no electricity, no potable water, and they decide to build those places, but not only both school but state of the art school with the comprehensive models that included ECD programs, school feeding programs, parent and teaching programs. The best part of building there is the academic result. Now those kids who have a completely different outcomes from their life, now they're on their way to the university and thriving in their communities. She's passionate to work for education because she really seen result. Their work, our work, is too far from being done because many developing countries are still live in equality. Students in low-income countries left primary school with basic reading skills. 171 million people could be lifted out of poverty. They're extremely confident that this partnership is only the beginning to be modeled to replicate throughout Colombia until not a single child out of schools. This is our responsibility to our children and our debt to fulfill the generation to come. I think it's enough for the first video. We will move to the next video. On the second video, I will make a summary about speech that delivered by Taylor Swift. She said that her detractors, whatever they criticize about her, is become material for her musical satires or inspirational anthem, and the best lyrical example are songs like Mean, Shake It Off, and Blank Space. When Fearless did win Album of the Year at Grammys, she did become the youngest artist to ever win the award. With that win, criticism came back in flash. And 2010, she'd never experienced before as a younger new actress. All of a sudden, people had doubt about her singing voice. Was it strong enough? Was it a little bit pitchy? All of a sudden, they weren't sure if she has the one who writing the song, because sometimes in the past she had co-writers in the room. They're saying that she's dating too much in her 20s. Okay, she still stopped and she be single for years. Now they're saying her album Red is fillful to many breakup songs. Okay, she'll make the one moving to New York and deciding that really her life is more fun with just her friends. Okay, they're saying her music is changing too much. that criticism is reserved for them. But they learn that difference between those who can continue to create and claim it usually come down to this: who let them really break them and who just keep making art. One of her favorite artists of this decade, Lana Del Rey, was rudely criticized. They have similar taste and she liked it. She was rudely criticized in her early career and then slowly but surely she turned into, in her opinion, is the most influential artist pop. Her vocal stylings, her lyrics, her aesthetic have been echoed and reproposed in every corner of music. And this year, her incredible album is nominated for Album of the Year at Grammys because it just keeps making art. That example should inspire us and so many amazing women who are making music right now. Female artists, music have dominated this decade in growth, streaming, record and ticket sales, and critical acclaim. It seems that the fellow female artists have taken this challenge and they have accepted. It seems like the pressure that could have been crushed made us into diamond instead. And what didn't kill them actually make them stronger. To conclude, she said that in 10 years, she have seen forward step in our industry. It's our awareness, our conclusion, and our ability to start calling our unfairness and misconduct. She have seen the action of social media, the way it can boost breakthrough of emerging artists and fans become engaged and supportive than ever before. When she's delivering this speech, she's about to turn 30, but the exact quote during her speech is she really feel like she need to continue try to offer something to a younger generation of musicians, because somewhere right now our future woman of the year is probably sitting in piano lesson or a girl in choir, and today's right now we need to take care of her, the one where fans feel a connection to music that makes their day easier, make their night more fun, makes their love feel more sacred, and their headache feel less isolating. The one where all of us in this room stand as example for someone else in the next generation who love the same thing that we love, music. No matter what else enter the conversation, we will always break it to music, is what Taylor said. So I think that's all for the second video. We will move to the next video. Okay, in the third video, I will make a summary about a speech that delivered by Barack Obama. He said that through civil wars and bitter struggles, they improved this constitution to include the voice of those who'd once been left out and gradually made this country more just and more equal and more free. The one constitutional office elected by all of the people is the presidency, so the minimum we should expect the president to feel a sense of responsibility for the safety and welfare of 330 millions of the, regardless of what they look like, how we worship, who they love, how much money they have, and who they voted for. Political beliefs the president will preserve, protect, and defend the freedom and ideals that so many Americans marched for, went to jail for, fought for, and died for. Hope that for the sake of our country, Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously, but he never did. Barack said that for close 4 years now, he's shown nothing. She's shown no interest in putting the work, no interest in finding common ground, no interest in using the awesome power of his office to anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention. The consequence of that failure are over 170,000 Americans dead, millions of jobs gone, while those at the top taking more than ever. Our worst impulses unleashed, our reputation around the world badly damaged, and their democratic institution threatened like never before. He told about his friend Joe. Joe Biden is a man who learned early on to treat every person he meets with respect and dignity. What he know about Joe is they actually care about American. Joe is actually together with Kamala at this electing, and they care about deeply about democracy. They believe in democracy. The right to vote is sacred, and we should making it easier to people to cast their ballots, not harder. They believe that no one, including the president, is above. They believe that no one, including the president, is above the law, and that no public official, including the president, should use their office to enrich themselves or their supporters. They understand that this democracy, the commander-in-chief, does not use the man or woman of our military who are willing to risk everything to protect our nation as political proofs. To deploy again peaceful protester on our own soil. Here's the thing, not single America can fix this country alone, not even the president. Democracy was never meant to be transactional. You give me your vote and make everything better. It requires an active and informed citizenry. So also making as you believe in your ability to embrace your own responsibility as citizens to make sure that the basic tenets of our democracy ensure basic that's what at the right now. Their democracy is health system will let you more. Their democracy, uh, their democracy health system will let more people fall through the cracks. That's how democracy withers until it's no democracy at all. And they cannot let that happen. Do not let them take away your power. Do not let them take away your democracy. Make a plan right now for who you are going to involve and for do it as early as you can and tell your family and friends how can you do afford to do what Americans have done for over 2 centuries when faced in so many ways and you are in this country's dream fulfilled. Early generation had to be persuaded that everyone has equal words. For you, it's given a conviction. And what he won, you know that is for all the massiveness and frustration by voting like never before for Joe and Kamala. He said also that candidates down the ticket so they leave no doubt about what the country that they love stand for today. I think that's all that I can tell. We will move to the next video. Okay, at this video, the fourth video, I will make a summary about the speech about the importance of art. So, can you imagine a world without art and culture? Or even without music, without cinema, without dance, without opera, without literature, without poetry? The world would be a very, very dull place. Why art is important? Art artists working in this realm of the socio-politic, use different media to express themselves from traditional media like sculpture and painting to film, video performance and installation to deal with key questions such as democracy, civil, human rights, capitalism, and to the economy, migration, and mobility. Art is a sense of political as it is shown about a person's views and freedom to act, freedom to express themselves. So art is about taking a position. There have been moments in history where art was put on the surface of politics and society in a program which the gap between two was temporarily breached one and can immediately think of example how Russian never cared, but this effect has been always very hard to pinpoint and to qualify that what does art do and what can it do for us. And why is it important? The fact of the matter is very difficult to be a general and how categorize what exactly art is, how it is functions. Is it impossible to both quantify and qualify how arts affect those who see it because it works in mysterious, latent, and very subtle way. That's why it is always such an uphill struggle to convince politicians of art funding to convince them that the value that it is important and the significance and the merit of the art cannot be judged by popular consensus. And number one, and this is one because art allows something that cannot be defined. So art is optimistic because it makes a statement that one person can change the world and art can change the way we think. And it cracks open mandate opinion and it challenges the given look at the world with a criticized eye. It opens up horizon beyond those which are familiar to us and testify the power of human. Imagination, the unique capacity of humans to project, to dream, and to reflect one thing that not only as they are, but as they could or should be. Art can foster dialogue, reconciliation, and engagement, solidarity, connectivity, and understanding of those with opposing views. If more people engage with and it will be a much better place. Art is the last frontier of unregulated free expression, which is particularly important at a time when the commons public share and information are increasingly being privatized and regulated by neoliberal and order. I think that's all for this video. We will move to the next video. Okay, in this fifth video, I will make a summary about someone's speech that tells about what makes you special. So he said that everybody wants to feel valued and accepted, and we think it should be happen spontaneously, but it doesn't. When we were different, you have to work at belonging. You have to be either really helpful, smart, or funny, anything that be cool for the crowd that you want to be hang out with. It seems like everybody had something special to offer. Some kids were going to play violin, others were going to recite a theater monologue, and he remembered thinking that he don't practice talent like this back home, but he was determined to find something of value. The day of the talent show comes and he get up on the stage with his little boombox and he put it on the side and press play. We may feel guarded and when you look at it, but maybe he little ashamed, maybe even proud, but we need to begin to embrace it. Remember, it is the first step in appreciating what makes others special. Is experience that will change me. He being able to speak different language, he have to navigate all those different people and place, and it gives him unique sensibility. He was finally beginning to understand the importance of putting herself other people's shoes. That is a big part of reason why he decided to become a journalist, especially being part of the world that is often labeled the backyard. It is illegal alien, third world, the other. I wanted to do something, change it. We try to make people see as the human being, not simple illegal aliens, Yes, he broke the law, and they should pay penalty for it. So he's given everything for this country, like many other immigrants before them have. I they have, they told us that how many bad personal growth started, and to end this, he want to tell us that he hit the worst bump in the road yet. One that took me to my very car. They say your life can change in a split second. Theirs did a moment at her sister had a car accident, and he won't being successful other half, only year apart in age, not to being able to move her legs, and he only sit and dressed by herself. Everyone we want, I he just realized that people just saw a pure girl in a wild chair. They were unable to see everything beyond that. She fighting like a warrior. He can thankfully tell you that today is her sister walking, and she has recovered beyond anyone's expectation, and they all come to this world in a body. People with physical and neurological difficult, environmental impact communities, immigrants, boy, girls, or who want dressed as a girl with veils, women who have been sexually assaulted, athletes who have bent their knees as a sign of protest, black, white, Asian, Native American, my sister, you, me, we all want that everyone wants to dream and to achieve. So sometimes society tell us and we tell ourselves we don't fit the mold. The single thing every one of us had in common is being human. So let's take a stand to defend your race and the human race. Let's appeal to it. Let's be humanist before and after everything else. Let's celebrate those imperfections that make us special. I hope that it teach us that nobody has a claim on the world. We are different, we are quirky and unique. This is what makes us wonderfully human. I think that's all that I can tell in the fifth video. We will move to the next video. Okay, in this sixth video, I will give my summary about speech that tells about dream about the future. So she said that our world is changing so much and fast, and there's kind of accelerating feedback to look where technological change and social change feed on each other. From climate catastrophe to authoritarianism, everybody is obsessed with apocalypse. Even though the world ends all time and keep going, don't be afraid to think about the future, to dream about the future, to write about the future. But there's something we need to know, that we didn't predict the future, but we imagined the future. So my process kind of begin and so her process kind of begin ends with imagination, and it's like her imagination is to piece of bed in a research sandwich, because cities don't just spring up overnight like weeds. They arise and transform. They bear the scarf and ornaments of war, migrations, economic booms, cultural awakenings. A future city should have monuments, yeah, of course, but it should also have layers of past architecture, with purpose building and all of the signs of how we got into this place. It's a trick question. There's no something incredibly bizarre about the current system we have the units in the United States. There's something incredibly bizarre about the current system they have in the United States, where their waste get flushed into a tunnel to be mixed with rainwater and often dumped into ocean, not to mention toilet paper. A bunch of taxis led by Bill Gates are trying to reinvent the toilet right now, and it's possible that the toilet on the future could appear incredibly strange to someone living today. But what if those looked more like flowers than technology? What if our toilet could analyze our waste and let we know of if our microbiome might need a little tune-up? What if today's experiments with turning human waste into fuel leads to a smart battery that could help power our home? But back to the city of future. How does people navigate space? There's no street. How people even make sense of the geography? She always heard that them is the smarter I get, the better it is making connection. So he thinks that social media of the future will be more better and better. Maybe it'll help us from healthier, less destructive relationship. Maybe we'll have devices that enable togetherness and serendipity. She really hopes so. And we know she think that if strong AI ever really exists, they probably enjoy our relation drama the same way that we do. And she hopes that we can love to obsess about real housewife of whatever, and finally there's a medicine. He think a lot of how development is genetic medicine could improve outcomes for people with cancer or dementia. Or maybe one day our 100 per day will be the one another milestone on the way under 2-3 decades of healthy and active life. Maybe the toilet of the future that she mentioned will improve health outcomes for a lot of people, including people in part of the world where they don't have the complicated sewer system that she mentions. But the truth is, it is going to be either of those things. It's going to be in the middle. It's going to be but. It's going to be everything. And the one future is going to be incredibly weird. So we must prepare for that. I think that's all I can tell in the sixth video. We will move to the next video. Okay, so in this video I will make a summary based on the speech that they will delivered by Yuval Noah Harari that tells about human. So he said that the most important thing to know about prehistoric humans is they were unimportant. Their impact on our world was not much greater than jellyfish or fireflies or even woodpeckers. We want to believe, and he wants to believe, that there is something special about us, our body, but our brain that makes our superior that to a dog, to a pig, or a chimpanzee. But the truth is, on the individual level, we are embarrassingly similar to a chimpanzee. The real difference between human and all the other animals is not on the individual level, but it's on collective level. Human controls the planet because they are the only animals that can cooperate with both flexibility in very large number. We can get its extremely sophisticated and effective network of cooperation. All the huge achievement of humankind throughout history, whether it's building the pyramids or fly to the moon, or have been based not on individual abilities, but on this ability to cooperate flexible in a large number. Nevertheless, even though we don't know each other, humans can work together and create this global exchange of ideas. This is something that chimpanzee cannot do. We have been doing the same very horrible things. All those things are so based on a large scale cooperation. Prison are a system of cooperation. Slaughterhouses are a system of cooperation. Concentration camp are a system of cooperation. And also chimpanzee that don't have slaughterhouse and prison and concentration camp. So we control the world because we can cooperate flexibility in large number. All other animals use their only to describe reality. A chimpanzee may say, "Look, there's a lion, let's run away." Or, "Look, there's a banana over a tree, let's go there, let's go get the bananas." Humans, in contrast, they use their language not merely to describe reality, but also to create new realities, fictional realities. A human can say, "Look, there's a God above the clouds." And if we don't do what the hell we to do, when we die, God will punish and send you to hell. And if we all believe the story that he invented, then we will follow and same norm and laws and value, and we can cooperate. So this is something only human can do. And the next materialist, money, in fact, is the most successfully story ever in fact and told by humans, because it is not only story everybody believes. Not everybody believes in God, not everybody believes in human right, not everybody believes in nationalism, but everybody believes in money, in the dollar bill. Today, the very survival of river and trees and lion and elephants depends on the decision and wishes of fictional entities, like the United States, like Google, or like the World Bank, entities that exist only in our own imagination. I think that's all that I can tell. I apologize if any mistake that I made in this video. I'm signing out. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.